Hi, welcome back to another daily lore. Um, Next one I accidentally started. Probably while I was watching one of my previous videos. I accidentally started this because obviously in the beginning videos, usually I don't want to do it now. Actually, I'll do it. I do this and then it
My
starts this
husband said I
video,
was imagining.
and that's how it does it. That's how it does. Or I accidentally clicked on it like a while ago. Either or, whatever. Next video is this next one. Well, actually, a lot of people viewed this one. Let's go.
Growing your money shouldn't feel like a second job. That's why there's Betterment, the automated and
I discovered my husband has been paying his parents' mortgage for 3 years using our savings without telling me. When confronted, he said their family so consent isn't needed and my parents don't deserve equal.
I mean, it sounds familiar, but I know I haven't reacted to it or have watched it at all. Actually, no, maybe I have because I have. That is going to be a problem. I don't remember though. I have watched some of this person's uh, TikTok Reddits on my main TikTok. I don't have a TikTok for this account, but on my main TikTok, I've watched some of his Reddits. But obviously, so I don't spoil myself, even though I have terrible memory and I will forget, I kind of blocked. I want to say I don't think I blocked his account. I didn't block it. I I made future videos not pop up on my feed, even though I watch a lot of Reddit content, but I don't watch his Reddit content on my other account on my TikTok because I'm waiting to react to it. So
Treatment because they never struggled. Now I'm considering divorce and his family is calling me heartless for being upset over just money. I never imagined I'd be in this position, torn between
I mean, yeah, that sounds understandable. I mean, shit, heartless. You are heartless if you get a divorce based on only money. It's only money. That like seriously, like that's stupid. That's the most stupidest reason to get a divorce. If it's if depending on the obviously it depends on the circumstance. Yes, obviously, of course, don't come at me. It depends on the circumstance, but in general it is stupid if you're getting a divorce based on money. Like I said, circumstance. But in the beginning, the way they phrased it, the way the Reddit phrased it, it sounds stupid, but I know it's not stupid because they're gonna explain.
marriage and my financial security, but here I'm seeking advice from strangers on the internet. What I discovered 3 weeks ago has completely shattered my trust and left me questioning everything about my relationship.
And also, yeah, it is kind of weird that you are secretly paying for your family's whatever it was with money that you have together, but without discussing with your partner. I mean, usually you would discuss anything with your partner unless your partner trusts in you wholeheartedly, then which is kind of improbable, but I wouldn't say impossible. So yeah, no, I don't. You should discuss. Even if you do trust the person, you should discuss where the money is going. You should discuss anything. Something like that can easily break up a marriage depending on the situation.
My husband Jake and I have been married for 5 years, together for 8. We both have good careers. I'm in healthcare administration and he's in software development. We've always been careful with money, living below our means and aggressively saving for our future. We wanted to buy a house in the next year or two and eventually start a family. We had a joint account for bills and shared expenses, plus separate personal accounts, and a joint savings account that had
Oh yeah, I'm fine with this. This sounds perfect.
accumulated a substantial amount over the years, almost $175,000.
I like this. This is a healthy, well, so far it's a healthy marriage with the finances. This is exactly what I want. This would be great. Obviously, I'm poor. I'm broke. But this is exactly what I like. I like hearing this. But obviously, something went wrong.
At least, that's what I thought we had. 3 weeks ago, I was gathering documents for our tax preparation when I noticed some discrepancies in our joint savings account. There were regular monthly withdrawals of $2,200 that had been happening for nearly 3 years. I hadn't noticed because Jake handles most of our banking, and I
Yeah, that makes sense. You're married, obviously you let your husband or whatever do the majority of it because you don't have the time to do it. But obviously it's not like you can't check. You could check whenever you want. You just obviously have faith in your partner, which is exactly what you should have. But obviously finding out that it was a mistake, it's kind of that's not good. That is not good. Obviously you're going to bring it up to him, of course. You ask it, explain it, but
admit I got complacent about checking the statements regularly since we were both good with money, or so I thought. When I asked Jake about these withdrawals, totaling almost $80,000 over 3 years, he seemed uncomfortable but eventually admitted he had been paying his parents' mortgage. Apparently, his father had lost his job 3 years ago and struggled to find comparable work. Rather than
why didn't he use his own money? I mean, if you both have your own financial support, why the fuck did you not use? Oh, sorry. Why don't you use your own money? I mean, shit. You don't. Hmm. A joint saving account is for you guys, unless you take it out and use it for something else. But it's mainly for you guys. It's for, saving for house, groceries, basic necessity, pretty much. Mostly savings, pretty much, for like a house, a car, or something like that. It's a joint saving account. You could use your money in your account for your parents.
tell me about their financial troubles, Jake had simply started covering their mortgage payments from our joint savings without discussing it with me. I was stunned. Not just by the amount of money involved, but by the complete breach of trust. We had always made financial decisions together, especially major ones.
Yeah, I don't understand why I didn't. If you always did, yeah, I don't. That doesn't make sense. This doesn't sound like the same person then.
This wasn't a one time emergency expense of a few $100s,
No, it
this was tens
wasn't.
of thousands of dollars over years. When I asked why he never told me, his response left me speechless. He said they were family and he didn't need my permission to help them. He claimed he knew I would make a big deal about it and it
What? It is a big deal. I mean, yes, helping your family, honorable. It's good, but obviously you could have found some other way to help them. Like there's probably another way to help them, and even if there isn't, you should still discuss um with your significant other, obviously, so they know what's going on. And if you don't, that's fine. Just should take it out of your own account and not a joint account, because that money is not solely yours. And some people probably argue what's yours is mine once we're married. That is a stupid saying. Sorry, but that's a stupid saying. I mean, it's kind of true, but I mean, you should discuss still. It's just, it's a saying for somebody that is trying to get something. That's basically it.
was easier to handle it quietly. He genuinely seemed to believe he had done nothing wrong. I tried to explain that marriage is a partnership, and major financial decisions should be made together. I asked how he would feel
It's
if I
so
had
true.
secretly given $80,000 to my parents without telling him. His response? That's different. Your parents have money. They've never.
That doesn't matter. It really is no. That doesn't matter. Tomato, tomato. Like what? One family's poor, one family's rich. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I mean, it, not really. Like, remember, you could still give $80,000 to your well-off family. It will still be the same scenario. It would just be they don't need the money. But it'll be a different argument at that point. It'll be the same thing, it's just different reasonings. It's the same thing, it's just a different reason.
Struggled. Mine needed help. It's true my parents are comfortable financially, but that's completely beside the point. This wasn't about who needed money more, it was about trust, communication, and respect in our marriage. I would never dream of making such significant financial decisions without consulting him, regardless of the recipient. The argument escalated, with Jake accusing me of being selfish and heartless for being upset about just money when his parents could.
He doesn't, they don't understand the problem here. That, like, seriously, I understand the problem. And I've never been in a new relationship before, so I don't. It's not really about emotional. It's more logical. It makes sense logically to communicate. It makes logical sense to communicate everything you're gonna do with money you have together. I don't. He doesn't understand. They don't understand the problem either. Like, how do you not see the problem in not communicating? And they said you were very good at doing that. What? I don't understand. I guess one wrong move. Actually, no, 3 years long move. Wrong move.
Lost their home. I countered that I wasn't upset about helping his parents, I was upset about being kept in the dark about it. If he had discussed it with me from the beginning,
Yeah.
we could have found a solution together.
Like I said, I said this earlier.
Perhaps a smaller monthly amount we both agreed on, or a temporary arrangement with clear boundaries. After hours of arguments that went nowhere, I went to stay with my friend for a few days to clear my.
That makes sense. It went nowhere. Most guys are stubborn when it comes to that, especially the ones that are not logical and emotional. They're not logical and they are emotional when it comes to shit like that. And there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of people out there like that. I would say I'm probably like that at times. If my emotions are too high, yes, I would probably think more emotionally than logically, which is, I don't like doing that, honestly. I'd rather think logically. But emotions are important for humans, of course.
Head. That's when the situation exploded even further. Apparently, Jake told his family about our fight, painting me as a money-hungry witch who didn't care if his parents ended up homeless. His mother.
Oh my god, that's so stupid. Why would you tell your parents? Like, like, what kind of common sense is this? Go home and tell your mom? Really? You call your mom and tell her? That's just. mm, mm, that's so stupid. Oh my god. It has nothing to do with him. It really doesn't. That's not the problem here. The money is like what? Probably I would say maybe 30% of the problem. 20 to 30% of the problem is the money. The money is not really that big of an issue. It's money. The problem is you kept it a secret for 3 years. Sending 2,200, I think, every month $80,000 in total over 30 years. You kept that a secret from your wife. That's the issue. Imagine keeping a secret for 3 years and then you found out off of a whim or off of checking something. I think you would have been mad. Like, without the same, like, let's disregard the same issue. You would definitely be mad if you found a secret somebody been keeping for you for 3 years.
Called me crying, saying she had no idea their mortgage payments were causing problems in our marriage and offering to start repaying us, though we all know that's financially impossible for them right now. His sister sent me a scathing text, calling me materialistic and cruel. When I tried to explain my side, that this was about trust and honesty.
Yeah, she don't care. Some people don't care about your side. Like I said, I think the last video, especially family members, they don't care about multiple sides. They only care about one side. I wouldn't say always. They don't always care about their brother or sister side or cousin side. Sometimes they do care about the other side as well, the actual fiance or whatever, or grooms or whatever, whoever it is. Sometimes they care about their side as well and not care about their other side. There's the actual brother related. There's a bunch of Redditors out there. So the point is, some people care about certain sides and other thing. Some families care about family and they don't care about your side of the story. So most likely they're not going to listen to you.
In my marriage, not about begrudging help to family members in need, they refused to hear it. In their eyes, family helps family, and the fact that Jake kept this from me was irrelevant. I returned home.
Yeah, that's a no-go. Like that's not irrelevant. That is not irrelevant. The only reason you could say it's irrelevant is because it didn't happen to you. That's the only reason why you could say it's irrelevant. Because I guarantee, I wouldn't say guarantee, but I could bet that if it happened to you, you would be mad. And at that point, you would be a hypocrite.
After that, thinking we could have a calmer discussion. Instead, Jake doubled down. He had clearly been reinforced by his family's support and now insisted I was overreacting. He refused to acknowledge it.
Of course, once somebody supports you, supports your ideas, once somebody just whispers saying you're right, you're completely right, you're never wrong, your ideas are perfect, obviously you're gonna take that to the grave basically. If multiple people saying you're right, then obviously you're gonna think you're right.
Any breach of trust and was fixated solely on his parents' needs.
You always wondered why that app didn't exist. Now you can make it. Meet Replit Agent.
And was fixated solely on his parents' needs. When I pointed out that the money was from our joint savings, money we had both contributed to for our future home and family, he said I was being petty, counting dollars and cents in a marriage. The hypocrisy was staggering. If money doesn't matter in a marriage, why hide these payments from me for
Some people come up with stupid reasonings. They don't, like, they spout nonsense basically, and they don't think about what they're saying. They're just saying words that make sense to them in their head for the time being. But if they go back and listen, if they go back and replay what they said, if they think about it logically, it makes absolutely no sense of what they said. Everything they say is just contradicting each other. Like, it wouldn't make sense at all.
3 years. The next revelation came when I asked if his parents had any plan to get back on their feet financially. Jake reluctantly admitted his father had turned down several job offers because they weren't at his previous salary level, and they had made no adjustment.
That's besides the point. Oh my god. Just because you were making more at a specific job, and then you got laid off or something, whatever, something happened. If you're trying to find a job with either the same or higher salary, then you're going to be out of a job probably for a long ass time until you're at your wits end. Be like, fine, I'll take a job with a lower salary. You're going to be homeless or unemployed for a long time.
Adjustments to their lifestyle despite their reduced income. No downsizing, no budget cuts, they were simply living the same life with Jake quietly footing the bill. I suggested that if we were going to continue supporting his parents, we needed to have a serious conversation with them about their financial plans, perhaps even involving financial counseling. Jake.
No, because that would hurt their pride. Some people don't want to admit they have a problem, even though it's clear as day that they have a problem. Some people just don't want help. That's it. Some people don't want help, even if it's something as simple as financial help. They have to find out basically at the worst moment that they should have got help a long time ago with their finances.
Was horrified at the suggestion, saying we had no right to dictate how his parents lived, and it would be humiliating for them to discuss such matters.
No, it would not. It's just money. I hate some people. It's annoying how some people think. It's just money. That's all it is. There should not be any other emotions involved into money. I understand there's pride and there's ego, but that should not have any leeway inside of money. Money is tool. A tool is a thing you use. It has no emotion involved into it. Like, my God.
Thus. At that point, I realized this wasn't a temporary solution to an emergency, this was an indefinite commitment Jake had made on our behalf without my knowledge or consent. There was no plan, no end date, just an open-ended financial response.
Ooh, yeah, that does not sound like a good idea. No, thank you. I'm not staying inside of something that I'm not contributing. I am forcefully contributing to. Yeah, no. No, 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 no. No, thank you. You're basically, in other words, you're forcing your wife in order to help you pay off somebody else's. You're forcing your wife to pay for somebody else's lifestyle. That's basically what you're doing. You're forcing her to do something that she doesn't know about until now. That's other words. And you can't say I'm putting words. No, that's exactly what the words are. This is exactly what they are.
Ability that could continue for years or even decades. I told Jake I needed time to think and that we should consider marriage counseling. His response was to call his parents, who showed up at our house an hour later.
My God, what's up with you? Like, holy shit, you'll have to call your parents for everything? I thought you were an adult. Like, my God, holy shit. What the? My dude's not grown up at all. He's like old enough, but he's still a kid. Like, my God, you need to console your parents for every little thing you do in your life?
For an intervention. His mother cried, his father looked solemn, and they both expressed how hurt they were that I would cause such problems over them borrowing a little money during a rough patch. Jake sat there nodding.
Little money. $80,000 is not a little money. In 3 years, $80,000. I mean, that's more than most people making. No, that's actually less than people make in 3 years. I think. Yeah. No, that's more. Unless you're making what, 40,000? No, 30,000. Nope, 35. Somewhere around there. $35,000 a year, somewhere around there. You have to make $35,000 a year for 3 years, basically. Somewhere around there. I don't know the exact math. It's less than 40. 40, right? 40. No, it is 40. No, I'm stupid. No, wait. No, it's not. No, it's not 40. 40 would be 2 months. Or 2 years. Yeah, it's somewhere around 35. Somebody up to me making $35,000 a year. $35,000 a year is like, what, $18 an hour or somewhere around there? I don't know the math. I'm not good at math.
Along, completely united with them against me. That night, I packed more of my things and went back to my friend's place. I've been here for over a week now, trying to sort through my feelings and options. I spoke with a lawyer just to understand where I stand financially, and I've started individual counseling to help process everything. Jake has been texting.
I mean, you have a lot of the finances is the only problem with the finances. The only problem is the joint account. Everything else is I think it's completely fine because you have separate accounts as well, so that's all fine. You don't have that joint together, so yours is all fine. The house, obviously, you have to sell it if both of your names are on it. You have to sell it in order to get split equally, 50-50. What else? That's it, basically, I think.
Daily, alternating between accusations that I'm abandoning our marriage over money and pleas for me to come home so we can work things out.
That's a very skewed way of thinking. Like, you're banning our money here. What? Uh-huh. What? You're banning our money for family. Huh? No, you're banning our family from because of money. No. That's just a skew way of thinking it. I know in the beginning, like I said, it depends on this scenario. But in this scenario, yeah, it's just a very skew way of thinking. Like, it's a very that the way they phrased it is just no. There's no what's substance behind it. There's nothing behind it. It's just single sentence.
His family has been spreading their version of events to everyone who will listen, including mutual friends. I've even received messages from distant acquaintances asking why I'm being so cruel to Jake's parents. The money itself is important, it was our future, but this is about so much more than that. It's about
Yeah, like I said, it's like 20 to 30% of the issue. The rest of the issue is something else in general. Like, at least you found out now. I don't know how long they were married. I forget if they told us. But at least you found out now. They found out now. Like, my God. This is a big issue. Like, huge issue. It's not a small issue like this person's trying to make it out to be. And they would eventually find out why this is an issue. Maybe, if they actually reflect on their actions. But otherwise, they won't find out.
flying by a mission for years, making major decisions unilaterally, dismissing my feelings, and now, attempting to use family pressure to manipulate me instead of acknowledging the real issue. I'm starting to seriously consider divorce, something I never
Like she said, those are all the issues.
imagined would be on the table in our marriage. The trust is broken, and
There's more than just those, obviously, but that's the majority of them.
Jake shows no real understanding of why what he did was wrong. His loyalty clearly lies with his parents above our marriage, and I'm not convinced that will ever change. Am I
Which it should. I mean, it should. It should change. Depending on the scenario, but otherwise it should change.
overreacting? Is $80,000 and 3 years of lies something a marriage can recover?
That depends on the marriage. It does depend on the marriage, honestly, in my opinion. In my opinion, which I don't know if it's worth anything because I never been married, never had a relationship. But in my opinion, it can come. You could come back from this if you want to work it out. You could, but I mean, you both have to want to work it out, and you both have to see what the issue is. You both have to know why each others are upset, why each other is mad. You both have to be understanding of each other's feelings, of each other's ideas, of each other's thoughts, the way you both think. Yeah, yeah, obviously. So all of this basically, so yes, it could work out, but would it? Probably not. Everyone thinks differently. Everyone has different motives, even in marriages. Um, so in this scenario, no, I don't think it'll work out. I feel like this guy would never understand you, or this person would never understand you.
From? Is it selfish to prioritize financial honesty in a marriage when family members are in need? I genuinely.
Yeah, I would say it's fine. I mean, obviously, communication is the most important thing in a relationship, in any relationship. So if that's not in the relationship, then most likely that relationship will never work out long term. You will definitely break up or grow apart, something like that.
Don't know anymore. The gaslighting from Jake and his family has me questioning my own values and boundaries. Update. Thank you all for the overwhelming support and validation. Reading your comments has helped me feel less crazy for being upset about this situation. I wanted to provide a few updates. I've had a longer consultation with a divorce attorney to understand my options. Since we live in a community property state, the money Jake gave his parents, from our joint savings, would likely be considered marital assets that he wasted or dissipated. In a divorce, I could potentially be awarded half of those funds.
Yeah, exactly. They're not. They're not. That money is meant for both of you, unless both of you confirm that it could go towards a specific party. And even then, I don't know. Um, but unless you can both confirm that you could do that way, then otherwise, yeah, no. Because it is meant for both of you. Saving. It's a conjoint savings. You're supposed to save for your future, if anything.
In the settlement. I discovered even more troubling financial decisions Jake has been making. He's been paying for his younger brother's car insurance and phone bill for years, smaller amounts, but still, and last year he loaned his sister
On your account, too?
$5,000.
My god. The only reason he's doing this out of the joint account is because he doesn't actually have this money himself. Or themselves. So they think it's fine because it's family. Like I always say, family helps family, right? No. Shut up.
For a vacation that was never repaid. None of this was ever discussed with me. I asked Jake to attend marriage counseling as a last attempt to save our relationship. He initially agreed but then canceled the day before our first appointment, saying he didn't need a stranger telling him how to treat his family. I've moved most of my important documents.
Right. Stranger how to treat his family. Okay. He knows what he's doing is wrong. I mean, if he's that. I mean, he said yes in the beginning, and then he realized that he knows what he's doing is wrong, but he doesn't care. That's basically what it sounds like. Because, I mean, in the beginning, you said yes. That's fine. You said yes in the beginning. But then you had time to think it over. And then it's not the spur of a moment, no. You had time to think it over. Be like, yeah, I don't want to go because I do not want to hear a therapist saying what I'm doing wrong. Because you already know the therapist is going to say you're wrong for this.
Valuables to a safe location, and I've opened a new individual bank account to deposit my paychecks going forward. Several of Jake's family members have shown up unannounced at my workplace, causing scenes and trying to pressure me to stop this nonsense and go home. I've had to inform security and my supervisor about the situation, which was humiliating but necessary. At this point, I'm proceeding with a divorce. The financial betrayal was bad enough, but Jake's complete inability to see my perspective or acknowledge any wrongdoing makes reconciliation impossible. His family's behavior has only confirmed that this toxic dynamic would continue throughout our marriage. Thank you again for helping me see that I'm not crazy for considering financial infidelity a deal breaker. I'll update again when there are significant developments.
What if you could earn money while just living your life? With Moomoo, you can earn 8.1% APY on your...
Maybe there was significant developments, but we would never know because obviously this is already Reddit. So the only way I will know is if, if I watch Reddit on TikTok and it will discuss this further, but otherwise this react will be over, so I wouldn't be able to update at all because I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I feel like that it would be a deal breaker. I mean, the money part is fine. Like I said, it was 20 to 30% of the issue. The majority of the issue they already said it. I mean, that's the majority of the issue. Like seriously, you're prioritizing your parents over your own wife. That just does not sound right. You are married to your wife. You're not married to your parents. Also, if you probably discussed it with your wife, you could probably came up with some other alternative that is not detrimental to your savings plan. Because, I mean, if you were discussing kids and you were discussing a house, then yes, that's going to be expensive. I mean, even if it's like some of these type of Reddits, it's kind of hard to, like I said, two sides of a story. But even in these type of Reddits about finances, the other side is not really as valuable as the first side. Because unless you can actually look at the finances, unless they tell you a different story about the finances, otherwise, then no, the one side is actually all you need. Like I said, unless they spin a different story and tell you something about they said yes to this prior to, all this happening, and now they're saying no, and they had no idea, whatever, something like that, then yeah, otherwise, otherwise the story will be weird. But the financial shit like this, you just need to know one side of the story. Finances speak loud. Obviously, we can't see actual finance paperwork or anything. If we can, then obviously we will know, of course. Yeah, good. That should be good enough. I discovered my husband has been paying his parents' mortgage for 3 years using our savings. And that was Dead Spy's Reddit story react. Hope you have a good day, a nice evening, a good night, and a good morning. Okay, bye.